Hello and welcome to another Raggy's beer review. So today we're going over to Sainsburys to their Taste of Difference range, and predominantly these days they're brewed by Hall and Woodhouse. Hall and Woodhouse, based in Dorset, in the Blandford area, and aka Badger Beers. So if you didn't know, so yeah, these days Hall and Woodhouse really are the modern traditional #1 beer company. I think, I think that's an easy recognition of what they're doing. So this is their English Special Ale. There we go. Newly released. I've never seen this before. And it says here, English Sovereign and Endeavour hops. 7%, so decent ABV. And literally about £2.50 a bottle, something daft like that anyway. Selected by our experts, rather drunk experts. Brewed and bottled by Hall and Woodhouse, Dorset, England. Been there, been to the brewery. Didn't have a brewery tour, but certainly been to the brewery tap house, which is Badger's Beers, funnily enough. Malty and toasted, it says. And it says on the back, an indulgent extra special ale brewed using only the finest ingredients, crystal and chocolate malts, for a toasted biscuit taste, an English Sovereign and Endeavour hops. Best served lightly chilled, perfect with pub style food such as sausage and mash, oh, and fish and chips and steak and pie. Origin is Blandford in Dorset, definitely. Style is English Special Ale. Taste is full-bodied with toasted biscuit notes. So, first time drinking this. Whether it's the first review, I have no idea. Do I care if somebody else has reviewed it? No, why would I? We all review and we all do what we do. So, I've just been watching some dodgy stuff happening across the road. Two lads pulled up in the car, blocking our driveway. Now, it was getting dark and I was mowing the garden, and I says, excuse me, can't park there, you're blocking my driveway. And he muttered something, and not English, by the way, muttered something, and I says, hey, you're blocking my driveway. I says, look, driveway, and his mate got the hint. And then he moved up, and I says, if you park there, the neighbours are going to park that side because that's their driveway. We're going to park this side. There's a hump in between. I says, you're going to get blocked in. And he walked off, and I thought, yeah, tosser. And anyway, it goes round to the neighbours across the road. Neighbours across the road, it's all in darkness. Sri Lankan neighbours that we've got, all in darkness. Obviously, these are of Asian origin. I don't know if they're Sri Lankan or not, who knows. And I've never seen them. And, I don't care. My neighbours are my neighbours. You don't come onto my street with you, and we don't know you. And it's like, who the hell are you? Going around the back making some noise. Next minute he backs up onto the driveway, and I'm like, what are you doing here? And he sees me watching him. And I don't care anyway. I thought, I'll watch you. Don't care. Next minute, a van pulls up, and I'm like, what's going off here then? None of my neighbours aren't in. Next door's in. So I goes across and says, you seen what's going off? And she's been watching them as well, because obviously she don't know them. And if neither of us know them, then, and the neighbours aren't actually in, who the hell are these people? And I comes out, and the bloke's looking across, and I comes in again, and I shouts across, says, who are you? And I says, I don't know you, but you're on my neighbour's driveway. We don't know who you are. And he said something. He says he's delivering something for her. I thought he said stolen goods, but maybe not. And but anyway, literally half an hour later, the neighbour actually turns off home, and then they go up, and she's talking nice and quiet to them. Straight away you think, obviously she knows them. But we didn't know them, and so not like we're busybodies, but, So here we go. quite a dark pour, mahogany looking pour, with a little bit of a white head going off. Very malty on the nose. Whoa. Straight away, that is a decent beer. We're talking top 4 Sainsburys beers. Yeah, I've drank enough of the top 4 Sainsburys beers, in my opinion, for this to go straight into that top 4. That is a contender. Whoa, proper malty, traditional style beer. Good flavour. Flipping heck. So if you're like me and you like your Fuller's 1845, your Shepherd Neame 1698, your Old Crafty M, your Adnam's Broadside, and beers like that, you know, modern traditional, the best beers in a supermarket, in Sainsbury's for this one. And then this has just come along, English Special Ale. I've never seen it before, never seen it. And, you know, I know the beer, I know what's in the supermarket I used to work in. We are talking a big ABV, 7%, McEwen's Champion, King Goblin, or the other beers in that top of the beer range in Sainsbury's. And then this fella's just come by, a Badger Beers. Badger Beers don't normally do anything above about 5%. This is 7%. It's not expensive. £2, I think it was £2.75, which, you know, in this day and age is not expensive. 3 years ago, different kettle of fish. But it's a big, old style malty beer with flavour, you know. Do we have a new king? I've got to be honest. It's very, very interesting. You know, is this the king of supermarket beers? Price rise, it's at the right end of the deal. ABV, it's at the right end. You know, pissy beat 3.5%, 3.7%, who cares? Bigger beers, you do care because you enjoy it, you sip it, take your time, you share it if you need to share it. You know, not all beers need to be consumed by one person. They can be shared and enjoyed. As we know, Badger Beers, aka Hall and Woodhouse, make exceptional beers. And this, wow, is one of those. You know, you pick a beer up, and this is the second time tonight I've picked a beer up, and it is of a class that is, you know, frighteningly good. And this, you know, I've literally had that much from there down to there, and I can tell it's a fantastic beer. You can, you know, you drink a beer, you know straight away, you're like, bloody hell, that's special. I mean, there's a taste of caramel. touch of toffee. It's malty. That is top dollar. Top dollar. Wow. Wow. Fucking hell. An English Special Ale. In the day and age we're in, the word English, special and ale. Wow. You know, there are a lot of good beers in supermarkets, and I have drank all the big ones. You know, over the years, I've drank all of them multiple times, whether I've reviewed them or not. But the beers, the big beers in supermarkets, and this English Special Ale with the bulldog on the front, looks like. Is that the new king? The king of British beer. I did this review, bought it at the weekend, seen it, and I thought, I'm sure I've not had that beer before. Picked it up and I'm like, 7%. I know I've not had that beer before. Brought it home. Tonight I'm reviewing it, and you know, if the king is out there, then this could be the new king of British beers. Fucking hell. Oh, hey, oh. My chair's broke. Yeah, one of the slats has just come out, even more so. This is a monumental moment. The king has returned. Yes. Mufasa. Yeah. But, you know, the Lion King, you know, I'm not getting too involved in the Lion King. Good film, mind. Wow. It's a wow moment. If like me, you are a fan of the modern traditional beers, then you will respect that the best beers in the UK are modern traditional. They've been around the block for many, many years. The ones in supermarkets that we all love, that we can get in supermarkets, Fuller's 1845, Abbott's Reserve, Shepherd Neame's 1698, Old Crafty M, Adnam's Broadside, fucking hell, Bateman's Victory Ale, Robinson's Old Tom, nearly forgot to name them, and there's a few more in that list of the best of British, you know, and sorry Spitfire, you're not in that list, but they are the best of the British beers. You know, McEwen's Champion Ale, King Goblin. I know it's Marston's and it's not as good as it used to be, but it's still in that the elite beer, modern traditional beers. We have a new entrant, and straight in at number one, the best beer in Britain. Fucking hell. Wow. Yeah. It is something to be said, but wow. It's got the perfect aroma, you know, a modern traditional aroma of malty, a lovely beery aroma. I've got to take 2 of these on holiday and do a beer review with Andy, Happy Drinker Andy, and get him talking and see what he thinks. Jesus Christ, that's nice. And on art to the people at Hall and Woodhouse, Badger Beers. That is an absolutely stunning beer. I used to work for Sainsburys for 5 years nearly. I had a great time. You know, I'd have carried on working. I loved working on the beers, wines and spirits. Did not want to be forced on tills. You know, it's not for me. I love talking to people about beers, wines and spirits. I do not want to, you know, go for a checkout. That's not for me. But regardless, that is a world-class beer for me. I think that is the best beer in Britain, in British supermarkets. You know, without any shadow of a doubt. I know I'm on 15 minutes. Wow. It's absolutely amazing. It delivers in a way that's, you know, just out there. So, would I drink this again? Yep, no shadow of a doubt. Out of 5, 4.7 out of 5. Yeah, the best beer in British supermarkets. English Special Ale. Wow. Whew. I came into this review thinking this might be decent, and you know, it might be good. Hall and Woodhouse, Badger Beers, you know, they're a good brewery, and then all of a sudden it's like, Jesus Christ, this is a really good beer. Just goes to show you, you know, every now and again you'll come across something very special. That is that beer. Thank you for watching. See you soon.